Hello, my name is Tom. I'm one of the pilots here at STARS. Today I'm going to show you some of the safety features and discuss some of the procedures to be safe around the AW139 helicopter. The pilot in command, or the aircraft captain, is responsible for all operations of the aircraft, as well as the safety of all people in and around the aircraft. Please follow the directions of the aircraft captain at all times. Now we're going to talk about how to operate the sliding doors on the AW139. It's similar to many other sliding doors you've seen, but there are some added complications that we'll have to cover. Before opening the sliding door in the AW139, there are a few things to look for. We want to look back, make sure there is nothing on the sponson that's going to block the path of the door, ensure the fuel cap is secured, and look to see if there are any maintenance steps that are open. To open the door, we're going to pull the handle out, away from the aircraft, about 1.5 inches, rotate it up and past the vertical position, slightly to the aft portion of the aircraft. Hold the handle in that position and then slide the door gently all the way back until it locks in the open position. To close the door, we have to again pull the handle slightly to the aft position to release the pins, and then the door can be slid all the way to the forward position. And in that position, and firmly push the handle down to engage the pins again and lock the door. If the maintenance step is open, the cabin door can still be opened, but it will only open about 3/4 of the way, and the door will rest gently against the bumper on the door. It will not lock open in this position. One important thing to note is the aircraft ground power receptacle is located inside the maintenance step on the left side of the aircraft. This panel will most likely be open when the aircraft is inside the hangar. Now we'll review the emergency exits from the cabin of the aircraft. There are 3 windows on each side of the aircraft, and any one of these can be used as an emergency exit. Simply push where it says emergency push here, push firmly, and the window will fall inside the aircraft. The baggage compartment is located behind the sponson, directly underneath the exhaust of the engine. If you're working in this area and the engine's running, ensure you're wearing hearing protection. To open the panel, there's a word push engraved in the handle. You can push there, disengages the handle, hold it all the way out, twist it down until it stops, and hold it in that position. Then you can lift the door and ensure the pneumatic strut holds it in the open position. Once the door is open, to assist with loading and to protect the aircraft, there is a protective cover that can be folded down and allowed to hang on the outside of the aircraft. After loading the cargo, we can replace the protective cover, close the door, ensuring you hold the handle in the full open position to release the locking pins. Close the door, rotate the locking handle back to the closed position, and then release it. Now we will review the operation of the sliding cabin doors from the inside of the aircraft. This is the handle that actuates the sliding door. It looks a little different than the handle on the exterior of the door, and it operates slightly differently. There's a button here. Grab the handle with your hand, push the button in with your thumb, and then you have to rotate the handle aft, which will release the pins in the door, and the door will move out and aft, allowing the door to slide. To close the cabin door from the inside, it's similar to the outside of the aircraft. Hold the handle in the aft position. You do not have to hold the thumb button down at this time. Use the grab handle to help put the door in the position. Then rotate the handle forward and the door is in locked position. As you can see, the door is more difficult to close from the inside, so for normal operations, the safety pilot will close the door from the outside. From the cabin, there are 6 emergency exit windows, 3 on either side of the aircraft. To access these windows, there is a red tab velcroed to the door frame. Lift up on this tab and give it a pull. This tab is attached to a wire encased in the rubber seal around the window. Pull the wire out, push on the window, and the window will pop out away from the aircraft. As you can see, this is quite a large opening. This opening will now become the emergency exit for the aircraft. Any one of the 3 windows on either side of the aircraft operate in the same way. Patient unloading and loading will be done through the sliding cabin doors. It can be done through either side, and during loading there may be a requirement to move back to the baggage compartment with equipment. There should not be a requirement to go beyond the baggage compartment. If you need to get to the other side of the aircraft, do not go behind the tail, do not duck under the tail. Always proceed around the nose of the aircraft. The aircraft has 2 batteries, one located on either side of the nose, and it's in a location indicated by a battery access placard. We'll now go through the operation of the seat belts. Have a seat, find the straps. You'll notice there are 2 buckles on the left-hand side and a receptacle on the right-hand side. Fasten them together. The shoulder harnesses are on an inertia reel, so you'll be able to move forward. However, if you move forward too quickly, the harness will lock. Once the seatbelt is buckled, there are 4 adjustment points, just like there are in the BK. You can adjust your lap belt from these tabs, and you can adjust your harness from these tabs. As mentioned, the harness is on an inertia reel. You can also lock the inertia reel. There's a small knob under your left thigh underneath the seat. If you flip that forward, the harness is now locked. To release the seatbelt, simply rotate the center buckle and the seatbelt releases and your shoulders are clear. We'll now go through the action and movement of the seats. All seats can move forward or aft and can rotate left or right as required. To move the seat, you should be in the seated position, but not with your full weight on the seats. Using one of the overhead grab handles, pull up to take some of your body weight off the seat. Then use these levers to action the seat. The right-hand lever allows forward and aft movement. The left-hand lever allows for right or left movement. All seats must be in their forward or aft-facing positions on takeoff, taxi, and landing. Now we're going to talk about the intercom system and the connection for the helmets. The intercom connection box is very similar to what is in the BK. There is a slider switch on top, so in the central position, you would have to press down to talk with your crewmates. In the normal position, it will be locked in the voice-activated system, which is a configuration we now use in the BK. This button here is the transmit button to talk on the radios. The connection is a standard plug-in type connection for the helmets. Each forward station has its own intercom control box. We'll go through the details of that in the in-depth training about the cabin. Now I'll demonstrate how to operate the pilot's door. When the handle is in this position, that's the normal fully closed and locked position. To open the door, the handle must be pulled to the upper stop, which releases the pins, and then the door can be opened and left open against the pneumatic piston. To close the door, move the door to the closed position, hold the handle fully up, firmly close the door, and then rotate the handle to the down and locked position. Inside the cockpit, there are a number of switches that can be used to shut off electrical power, engines, and oxygen. If it's required to shut off electrical power, the easiest thing to do is grab this red breaker bar and pull it aft. In the event of any significant impact on an emergency landing, the ELT should activate automatically. However, if the pilots are incapacitated, you can open the door, look on the center of the instrument panel for a red switch, and turn that switch on. If you need to turn off the oxygen, the control for that is located at the bottom of the radio stack. To operate that, the handle needs to be twisted at least a quarter turn, push down, and then you can turn it back 1/4 turn to lock it. The cabin fire extinguisher is located behind the number 1 seat at the bottom of the shelving unit. The black strap holds it in place with a snap. Undo the snap and remove the fire extinguisher from its compartment. The second fire extinguisher in the aircraft is loaded at the aft portion of the center console, and it's secured by a strap. Before departing on any flight, ensure you're wearing appropriate clothing and footwear for the conditions outside. As a general rule, you should be prepared to spend a night outside in the current conditions. There is additional survival equipment located in the baggage compartment of the aircraft. If you have any concerns or questions about your safety or how to operate around the helicopter, please ask any member of the crew.